saying, and different various people who got held on up are pre-dynastic people also. But so the tikkun, we're talking about a process. So now we are down to talking about the DNA. That's where we are now in our stage of evolution. So that process of the tikkun, or that mayat, is the ultimate stage of the DNA. You see what I'm saying? So obviously we have to be very high into it for it to start registering in the cosmos. They found 12 more. They're only showing you one. But meanwhile, in order for this to go down, and they didn't line up to kill us, they said, well, we'll just lock down the country, making sure that they can't even go to Canada without a passport, Mexico or whatever. We'll lock down the country and contain them just in case. We don't think they're going to do nothing. We're just trying to be safe. Let's say if it's some other ethnic group in the United States that's going to jump off and be this new evolution. Well, ain't going to be nothing but the lineage from the original people. God damn it. But, you know, this is their mindset right now. They have a war to contend with. Right. So the Spirit said, man, we started that war for decoy. So when they think they're doing something in their sinister move, the spirit world is acting on our behalf. Nothing that's going on that you might think is how horrific it is. The spirit world does certain things. So you might not understand that at this particular time, but this is for something that's going on down the way. You see what I'm saying? So, so this is how this thing goes down. You see, so the war is a great distraction. You see what I'm saying? And while that war is going on, you best believe our rising is happening. It's here. Spirit, I'm walking in Walmart. Spirit say, how the hell you think we took all them damn singers and comedians? They've been dying like flies. They said when the party get down, we got to call back the people who was a part of that energy, of the muse energy. We got to call them home so they can be the people to get down on the other side. I'm like, dang. You see, so we're talking about a bigger world, but we so caught up. And the white man knows it. As long as you're caught up in your present situation, and what you think is so important, you see, they're saying they will never see what the true thing is and where their DNA is going. So let's say, oh no, fuck that, man. I'm suffering out here. So let's say at best you got what you wanted, as whatever your desires are. Is that the best we can do is just some new form of materialism? You know what I'm saying? I just look at how this man has a control over us. I said, I'm sending you a videotape. Oh, I don't have a VCR. Okay, let me get the mentality here. I know you got a DVD player. I got 5, because you need 5 to place a lot of DVDs. But just 4 years ago, the majority of the shit was still video. So I'm trying to figure out, just 4 years ago, 98% of what was produced was video, and now you're telling me you don't have a VCR? What kind of control to tell you that something that was just 4 years ago is not a reality to you now? People say, you know, like, I don't have a turntable. I'm like, well, yeah, you did that too. The CDs came out, niggas got rid of their turntables. You see, now they're going to find out that the CD is inferior to an LP. But now your turntables is gone. And now to get a real good turntable, the professional techniques, it's $600. You see what I'm saying? You could get one on sale for like $4, or get a knockoff Gemini for like $3 something. But still, yeah, this was more than most of your systems was costing. But that's how advanced the technology was. That was Thomas Edison. It's $600 for the real top of the line techniques, $1,200. Shit, I got one for $200 a couple of months ago, and I was happy as hell. You know, thanks to crack cocaine or whatever, you know, niggas be pounding shit. They got Cash America, this pawn shop all over Atlanta. Niggas be pounding shit. So I got me a $1,200 for $200. You see what I'm saying? That's a $400 price cut. But I'm just trying to say here, we let these people give you this mentality of what is the now is what you got to have. You stuck in this materialism. And you've always had all the time. You don't need upgrades. You see what I'm saying? So my point here is, why not focus on something that is not tangible? You see what I'm saying? If this DNA suggested, this star cluster is suggesting that our DNA is a certain way, and the spirit world got a whole war going on just to keep somebody off you, you see, then that means this is what we got to be focusing on. And I'll tell you one of the best ways to do that is, and I'm going ahead of myself, but one of the best ways to do that is, the more you exit the personal who you are, the more you disassociate yourself with the person that you know yourself to be, the more and more you go towards your new self. Yeah. You see, so I don't take nothing personal about Bobby Hemmitt no more. See what I'm saying? And now, since my mama gone, I ain't got to be sentimental no more about my family. You know what I'm saying? You see, so the more and more you exit from the person who is the false self, they say, thou shalt not worship false idols. I'm not talking about no other gods, because one man's God is another man's devil. All gods are the same ultimately. It's just your perspective on it. That's a fight. That's a male or human fight more than a reality of what God is. When they say we should not worship false idols, the self you know yourself up as, like myself, the person I know myself as Bobby Hemmitt is the false idol. The true self is inside of me, who never incarnated on this planet. Just think about that for a minute. We've never existed on this planet. Your true self. That's mind-blowing shit. You mean to tell me I was never here? Yes, your false self was here, which is the illusionary self, that the ego, basically, that tells you that this is your world around you. And you've had many of these incarnations. That is the one that is your sleep self that's been here, but your true self is the soul. Yet to emerge, and is never incarnated on the planet, and is the only God there is. That is the God. You see what I'm saying? That's some amazing shit. You mean I've never been on the planet? Right. And I used to say this years ago before I really knew what the concept was. The Spirit used to say it in the lecture. You never existed on this planet. You know, you're a series of events that never exist. He says all the time. But, so the key here is to get to that true self, is to minimize everything personal. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like I said one of the parts is not to judge. You see what I'm saying? Not to judge is one of those types of things. And anything to work on not identifying with self. Then you start to manifest what this DNA is saying. Well, I got this trick for you. If you think you was doing good now, wait till you open up and stop identifying with that person and see how far I can take you, even in the physical. Wow. I'm serious. You hear this new thing? You get the secret? Anybody got the secret? Anybody? I saw it. Yeah, you know, laws of attraction. You know, the universe attracts, and even though you might say, Lord, I don't want this to happen to me, it's going to happen because you thinking it, you're still going to attract it. Right. The key is to go above that and say, no, it's going to work out. Right. Now, my queen, a month before she came to Atlanta to be with me, this was in 2004, I had a lecture in Houston. Somehow, with the brother who was supposed to take me there, somehow they got late. And when I got up there, it was like, now we can get you on the plane, but we can't get your bags on the plane. But we don't fly bags without the people now, so therefore, you can't go. And the next flight is at 4 o'clock. I'm like, my lecture start at 4. So I came home cursing and stuff, doggone it. And I done fucked up my lecture and people all that. And my queen said, no, we're going to slow down this time. With this shit. We're going to slow down time. I said, yeah, we're going to do this. She said, don't worry, we're going to slow down time. So I got there at 6, because I had to leave it, so I got there at 6. And the people showed up at 6 o'clock, like it was the time on the flight. The flight was the thing said 4 o'clock, and I'm like, y'all just getting here? They should have like, what you talking? Yeah, we just getting here. I said, you supposed to be here at 4. And they just showed up like nothing was, like they was on time. You see what I'm saying? And they were. So my point here is you got to fix your mind to say, I'm not broke.
Right.
I'm not sick.
Right.
Now, like we said last night, they're dropping these chemtrails. You must you allow yourself to clean out once a week.
Yeah.
Now, I take 2 bags of senna tea. A lot of people say senna tea gripes them. But the griping is because, at first it might gripe because it's preparing your body so it can have a smoother flow, maybe a month down the road. But I take 2 bags of senna tea. Some people take smooth move. There's several things you can take. You see what I'm saying? But you got to clean out once a week. That's why they got you working, so you don't clean out. And you got the god Anubis. And I'm on the colonic table in Kansas City. And I'm looking up and I see the word Anubis. And I'm like, what's Anubis doing on the wall, on the chart, on the colonic table? And then I looked real good and it said anus. And I said, wait a minute, hold on now. No, that said Anubis. But I remember in Jeremiah's work, you get Anubis, anus, Anush, Anu, Anpu. So anus is Anubis. Now I'm in Charlotte doing a lecture. A Moore comes in. And we talk, I'm telling him to clean out. He said, that's what Anubis is, anus. Anubis, I'm like, damn, this guy got it too. It's the opening of the way. The opening of the way. Now, first thing has to, I'm the shit master. You think as big as I am, I shit 3 times a day before 12 o'clock. Every day. Except when I'm on a lecture. You see what I'm saying? Because the plane locks your bowels up. And stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? And plus, me being the shit master when I'm on a lecture, I need to cool it a little bit too. I'll be like, excuse me for a minute, we have a break. So the spirit works things. You don't think it's spiritual? You ever been somewhere? Now I'm going to show you how the spirit works. Well, there's a whole other ecological system. That's what the movie Osmosis Jones with Bill Murray was talking about. Let you know this stuff is spiritual. See, does this happen to you? You be out, you sit down, I got to piss. And you'll make it home. As soon as you put that key in the door, you rush it to the bathroom, you can hardly damn keep it in your pants. Anybody got that happen?
Oh, yeah.
As soon as you get in the house, you can hardly contain yourself, but you could be an hour away somewhere and it'll hold. That's the spirit world working. So they're eliminating from me 3 times a day. You see what I'm saying? You see, and that's 3 times before 12. That's not including the whole day. You see what I'm saying? And so I always wonder why I never was sick. You see what I'm saying? But the key here is the elimination, even damn Louis Armstrong. You know what they said about on the thing where he was with the Queen of England? And he would pass out these X-lax like things. And they was eating it like it's candy, being all nice, because Satchmo gave it to him. And he said, what the hell is he? He said, it's fucking laxative. And they were like, why you giving me laxative? He's like, you got to get it out of you, man. You got to get it out of you. You do certain things. So Anubis, that's the opening of the way. And everything, even Farrakhan said years ago, your best friend on the planet Earth is the toilet. That's it. Now, when I'm about to get sick, because they're dropping these chemtrails now. We haven't seen the sky since 1999. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to send a tape up here called Stop Chemtrails. So the government been denying it. So these rich white folks get together and they make a documentary. Because the government done denied it. And they say that we haven't seen the sky since 1999. The real sky. And it's global.
Right.
So they're dropping these chemtrails. One reason why they're dropping these chemtrails is for this. The chemtrails is keeping certain black people who didn't make it to the